few words about the technical aspects of the voicings and some additional considerations. And the first being the mixing of string families. And although this isn't done in the videos per se, obviously this would be an area that would be up to the individual to figure out how they want to use these in specific combinations. But just as a brief example, this is a B7 type chord voicing going to an E minor type chord voicing. So I'll play a B, A, D sharp, and D, a B7 sharp 9 on the 1, 3, 4, 6. And I'll keep that string family, E, B flat, E flat, and C. C7 sharp 9, moving down to B7 sharp 9, moving to an F sharp C, F, and A, and then an F minor here, an E minor. This would be E, D, F sharp, and G. And now moving, that was the 2, 3, 4, 6 string family, and this is the 2, 3, 5, 6. So I have E, B, F sharp, and A, and then moving to E, G, A, and D. So that would be just a basic example of mixing these to get specific types of voice leading, move inner voices to create inner melodies. So the sky's the limit with these. The possibilities are endless. So it's, again, up to the player to figure out how they want to use these specific voicings. And of course, since these are 4-note voicings, notes can be added anywhere. So up to 5- and 6-note voicings can occur, obviously, from just adding notes to the 4-note ones. An obvious example is just adding a bass note here. I have a F, C, D flat, and A flat on the top 4 strings, and I just added G flat below to give a G flat major 7 type sound. It's actually a D flat major chord on top. And here's another basic example going beneath. So this is F, G, C, and E in the middle 4 family, and then just adding a D below to make it a sort of a D minor 11 with a 9th type of sound. So more complex examples, obviously, we can do things like this. This is a G major 7 sharp 5 with an added sharp 9 on top. And we'll see that that comes from the 6-tone symmetrical scale within the study. We'll move the bass note to E. So this was F sharp, B, D sharp, and G, and then a B flat on top. So the middle 4 with the added note on top. And this is an E, B, E flat, G, and B flat, sort of like an E flat triad over an E on top. So it's a minor major 7 with a sharp 11. And this is an A minor major 7 with a sharp 11 as well. E flat, A flat, B, and G on the 1, 3, 4, 5 family, and adding a note, adding that extra D in the middle on the B string. And then, so this was a D flat, F, E, and G, adding a C on top. And that chord was on the 2, 3, 5, 6 string family. So you can see this can go in so many different directions. For instance, here's an A flat major 7 sharp 5 voicing on 1, 3, 4, 5. Now this is G, A flat, E, and C. And I reach in the middle and get an F. So now I have an F minor 9 major 7. And I put a B flat in the bass. And now I have a B flat 13 with a sharp 11. Just from adding 2 notes to a basic voicing. And of course the entrances make all the difference in the world. So attack points, experimenting with those, I would recommend. For instance, here's 2 D flat chords. This one's sort of a minor or a dominant suspended type chord. And play it like that. And then we can take a D flat major 7th chord, and these are both on the middle 4 strings. And we can hear that, how we attack them makes all the melodic difference. And we can add notes up top. To the first one, we can add an A flat up top. So this is D flat, B flat, C flat, G flat. We add an A flat up top, and we have F, C, D flat, and A flat. And we add a B flat below. So we can create different sort of voicings again by adding tones to the basic four that we're working with at a specific time, again, according to the type of chord that we want to use, et cetera, et cetera. Another example quickly is this sort of a thing. We just take an A flat major 7, and then we make it a sharp 5. We inner voice motion. So I get a B flat on the D string. This is on 1, 2, 3, 5. A flat major 7, very easy. Get a B flat on the D string. Get a D, hold the D, and make this an E instead of E flat. And then it's a E7 sharp 9 with a sharp 5. And then we can take an an E, D, C, and A. In C rather, E, D, G, and C. On the top four, on the 1, 2, 3, 5 string family, add an A below, and maybe an A flat below for an A flat major with a sharp 11. So again, just added notes each time. That's all we're doing, is making sure that we add specific tones to each. A word now on some voicings that might not be present, that we can easily alter other chords to make them occur. For instance, say we want a dominant 7 or a dominant 11 type sound with a flat 9, which is common. What we can do is take one that is an 11th chord, and then we can simply lower the 9th. For example, I'll use the 1, 3, 4, 5 string family. This is on G. I've got G, C, A, and F. I simply lower the A to A flat. So it sounds like an F minor, right? A C, A flat, and an F on top of a G, which will lead us to a couple of techniques that are present within the study that are important, a couple of terms that are used liberally. We'll take that voicing. Actually, I'll transfer that to the 2, 3, 4, 6 string group. So right here, I'm going to play a G, A flat, C, and F. Okay. The first, well, we'll look at this actually and just invert it, and to get all the different sounds. C, A flat, F, and G becomes F. C, G, and A flat becomes G, F, G, F, A flat, and C. So we generate the inversions first, and it should be known that in general throughout the clips, normally we start with the 4 inversions, the basic ones on a string family, and then we move from there. Now the first term is called string transference. That's a very simple device by which the E strings on the guitar are interchanged. In other words, this chord voicing is on 2, 3, 4, 6. I simply take the G off the low E and put it on the high one. And the first inversion, I take C, A flat, F, and G. I take the low C, I put it on the top. Same thing with this, F, C, G, and A flat. I take the F and put it on top. And then same with G, F, A flat, and C. I simply put the G on top. So it's just string transference means taking it from one E string to another. Another basic example is if I played this chord. This is a G flat, E flat, F, and B flat on the 1, 2, 3, 5 string family. I just take the note, the B flat, off the top and just put it on the bottom, so it reads B flat, G flat, E flat, F. So 1, 2, 3, 5 becomes 2, 3, 5, 6. So in this case, 2, 3, 5, 6 becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. Now the next term will be voice exchange, and I'll use these as an example again. This is G, A flat, C, and F. Voice exchange simply means 2 notes that are normally a semitone or a half step or a whole step, a tone apart. Normally, it could be a bigger interval, But in general, they can be exchanged. For example, G and A flat in this case, exchanged. So the G went to A flat on the low string and the A flat moved back down to G. And we can do the same thing on this chord, this G, F, A flat, and C. We just exchange the G and the A flat. And this can be done with even basic chords. Here's an E flat major 7, the E and the D sharp exchange. So it doesn't matter what voicing it is, it's just a simple exchange. You're just swapping out. For instance, here's another basic one, a B7 chord. On the 2, 3, 4, 6 string family, we just switch the B and the A. So we just becomes that. That's all. We swapped out or exchanged B and A for each other within the voicing. The other type of technique that's used frequently is, for instance, we're barring with fingers other than the first finger. So in this case, the example I played a little earlier, the F sharp B, D sharp G, and B flat, I flattened the second finger. The second one is like a diagonal bar. So this, George Van Eps used to call this the fifth finger principle, I think. So on the top 4 strings, I have a B, C sharp, G sharp, and A. And I get the C sharp and the A both with the index finger. And this can even hold true for some basic voicings like this. And again, swapping out. So we could have, here's an E flat, B flat, D, F. We get the A on top with just the first finger. And of course, we can change the bass note on that. So we have a D, A, C sharp, and E, and then we put a B flat in the bass as well to give us the an A chord over a B flat type sound. So those will be the basic physical and I guess conceptual parts of the string family study per se.